Hello everyone, Thempyrean here with more new cards. It's a big day for women. We've got Yuri, we've got girls with dragons, and we've got Yuri, the guy from Arc V.
Oh, brother, this
Let's get into it. First up with Yuri, that's right, it's the Master Duel 4th anniversary, and for that we have decided to make a Master Duel world premiere featuring IP Masquerena on her motorcycle and SP Little Knight in the sidecar, which is incredible. Let's take a look at this card. I'm not playing Master Duels. I don't know when I'm going to get this card, but I will be there. Probably, unless it's really expensive, which it might be because it is an IP SP Little Knight card, and yeah, those are pretty expensive. I'm excited about it though. It's cool. Again, I don't play Master Duel. I only play TCG, so I don't know when I'll get this, but excited for it anyways. It's WP Fancy Ball. What does the P stand for? Phantom Thief? Package courier, something like that. I don't know. Link 3 Dark Cybers Link effect monster, 2400 attack, top, bottom left, bottom right. 2+ effect monsters, so pretty easy to make with IP Masquerena. Don't use the first and second effect with return. Opponent activates a monster effect on the field or graveyard. Quick effect, you can banish this card and special summon this turn, like with effect of Masquerena, until the end phase. Negate that effect, and if you do, banish it. Pretty good. Just a negate on field or engrave for monster effects. But it only does it the turn it was special summon that. But if you're doing this turn 2, it's probably going to do something. During your opponent's main phase, quick effect, special immediate active effect resolves, link summon a link monster. And this card you control will be used as material for that link summon. You can also use a link 2 or lower monster your opponent controls. Neither player can activate the effects of link monsters in response to this effect's activation. What the fuck? Okay, so you go Masquerena. Whoa, wow. In your opponent's standby phase, you go Masquerena for Fancy Ball. Fancy Ball you use to negate until the hold up, because it banishes itself until the end phase and does the negate. But then it also has the Unchained link summon with your opponent's monsters effect, except it has to be a link monster it's using, link 2 or lower specifically. So it's really gonna, but that's really interesting actually. The fact that you can't really use them both on the same turn is actually really interesting, because obviously you can use the negate effect where it does a SP Little Knight banish itself and negate instead of doing the banish, it does a negate, but it banishes itself just like SP Little Knight. You can only use that the turn it was summoned, but you can use the other effect anytime. So you can use the SP effect, what I'm going to call the SP effect, turn 1, the first turn you make it, and then when it comes back on your next opponent's main phase, you can use the turn 2 effect, or the Masquerena effect. Oh, can you tell that I woke up early yesterday and woke up early the day before that? I'm a little out of it, sorry. The SP effect you could do, and then you don't have that anymore, so you use the mask effect instead and use this as material, and then you have a little Unchained kind of thing going on. I mean, Link 1s and Link 2s are pretty common, even in decks that don't do a lot of link summoning, like SP Little Knight, for instance. So this is going to be online way more often than it's not. So this seems like a pretty good card. And then even if your opponent, if you know your opponent's on something where you really need to stop some of their link summons, you can just pivot to doing this instead of doing this. That first turn is on the field. You don't have to do the other negate. So it's really gonna the effectiveness of using this is going to depend on your knowledge of the opponent's cards, which I think is interesting. I think that's interesting. We also have a new alt art for IP where she's doing a pose in what? And then we have SP who is doing ninjutsu on a skateboard with a new raccoon tail. And that's fucking awesome. I love the SP new artwork. The IP artwork I think sucks. I think this is not good, but IP already has a good alt art. She doesn't need another good alt art. SP Little Knight, however, needed a good alt art, and this one is incredible. That's perfect. That's so good. She was a skater girl. She said, "See you later, girl." All right, next up, we've got a new Charmer card. Charmers just keep getting new cards. They have that manga that's going on, and that manga story, or wait, do they have a manga story? I know they have the anime. They have the anime. I don't actually know if they have a manga story to go along with the anime, or if they're just doing the anime raw. It's not like they care about what happens in the manga anyways for the anime. they completely ignored what happened in the manga for Sky Striker. So it's not like a huge deal. But the new Charmer cards are not awful. Jesse Cotton just did some stuff with them with Charmer K9. I know Super Insane, friend of the channel, has also put out a deck profile on Charmer K9. They're not awful. They're not terrible. They do some stuff. Possessed Resonance Wynn. It's a fusion, level 5, K9. Wynn spellcaster fusion effect monster. It's got the spellcaster. It's got the Charmer stats, 1850, 1500. The familiar possessed stats, I should say, not the Charmer stats. They're different. Its materials are a spellcaster monster and a wind monster. Why you gotta make a super poly target for my speedroids? No, they already had one though. It was called Garura. This card is always treated as a familiar possessed card. You can only use the one of the first effects and second effects of this card's name per turn, only once that turn. Okay, so you have to choose which of these effects you're using. That's unfortunate. They must be pretty good effects then. If this card is fusion summon, you can place one wind monster from your graveyard in the bottom of the deck, target a monster your opponent controls, and take control of it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good one. I think you might have a wind monster since you used it as material. Wow, that's pretty strong. Aren't the Wind Witches wind spellcasters? I don't think they have a way to like weave a fusion into their stuff, and I don't even know what they would do in the modern day. They haven't gotten new support like the Speedroids have, but Wind Witch, right? Wow, that's interesting. That's a pretty powerful effect. It's on fusion summon, you place a wind monster on the bottom of and it doesn't matter what type of monster it is. You just take control of it. It doesn't matter what the type is, as long as you have the wind in the grave. Wow. Second effect. During the opponent's turn, quick effect. Target 2 cards in the field, including a wind monster you control. Place them on the bottom of the deck in any order. So including a wind monster you control can include Wynn herself. So that then you recycle her, and then you can use her again. I guess theoretically the idea is you're fusion summoning her on your turn, using her effect, and then on the opponent's turn you're doing the other thing. But with Super Poly or some of the other like quick effect fusion cards, you can make her that way on the opponent's turn and get the take control effect as a quick effect, or as a on summon effect during the opponent's turn, which is pretty nice too. This card seems really good. It's funny, they always start with wind for these. It feels like every time they do a new style of familiar card, a Charmer card, they start with wind because it's like the weakest one they can experiment on. To see where it needs to be at the lowest level and like how much higher they can, whether they can go high to the other attributes after that. But this card seems quite good. If we go over to the database, what is the, I think it's probably a familiar possessed card. What is the fusion? I need the fusion's name. Oh yeah, Spellbook of the Grand Circle. Add 4 charm monsters with different attributes. It has to be 4. From your deck, graveyard banishment to your hand, shuffle 2 cards from your hand into the deck. Banish this card from your graveyard. Fusion. So, it just needs to be in the graveyard to do the fusion. Fusion summon a fusion monster extra deck using Charmer, familiar possessed monster from hand or field. Opponent cannot activate cards or effects of the monster's fusion summon this way. Okay, that doesn't seem worth it, really. There's plenty of other fusion effects that can make this card. But still, interesting. She's a okay super poly target even. Like a spellcaster and a wind monster. If you're on winds, it's a good way to get any spellcaster decks. Now that Spenta is out, you might see some of those. Although Spenta came out so long after it came out in the OCG that it might be a little too late for Spenta. But still, it might be good. Although you already have. This is for wind decks, right? If for a wind deck, this would be a good one for that. Although by the time we get this card, it might be even further past the due date for the spellcaster pile. But, Draco Tail's got its spellcasters as well. You might want to scoop up into your wind monster, that then you can take control of your opponent's monster. It's interesting for sure. Otherwise, I don't really know I mean, hold up. Does what are the types on Draco Tail? They have a wind, right? Fire, dark, wind, pan. So you can use pan and any spellcaster to make Wynn. Another card in the toolbox of Draco Tail. I mean, it's got a take control effect and a place on the bottom of the deck effect. Recycling itself as well. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm really interested to see what people do with this card. And again, it's also just like a 5 you can use in rank 5 strategies too. There's no lock on this at all. You just have to be able to make it. All right, time for our last thing, which is Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode. Black Rose Dragon finally has an Assault Mode. I imagine the other Cider Dragons will also be getting theirs. Obviously, Stardust and Red Dragon Archfiend are the only ones that had one currently. Here's Black Rose Dragon. Will we be seeing one for Lifestream and Ancient Fairy Dragon? One for Dark Winged Dragon? Although, you know, Dark Winged Dragon did get kicked off of the most recent thing that showed all the Signer Dragons. So is Black Winged Dragon a Signer Dragon anymore? Well, I don't know. Now you might be thinking Blackwing Dragon already has one. That one is actually called Blackwinged Assault Dragon and not Blackwinged Dragon Assault Mode. Slightly different. And you know, the Assault Mode, I want to say one more thing, actually. The Assault Mode deck is not bad. It seems very playable in Genesis format. So this new card could actually do something for that archetype. Let's see what it does. 2900 attack, 2300 defense, level 9 fire dragon, special summon effect monster. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon with assault mode activate. I'm gonna use the first, second effects of this card's name once per turn. Reveal this card in your hand, shuffle it into the deck. If you do, change the attack of one face-up monster on the field to 0. What is this, a Reptilian card? What are we doing? Why? Why? Why does it do that? Is that a reference to something? Like, I know Akiza fought the Reptilian duelist, right? Like the Reptilian user was a dark signer from 5Ds, and Akiza fought her, right? Why does Akiza's card do that though? Is this card a special summon or a monster is special summon to your opponent's field? Destroy all cards on the field. Okay, so it does have the Black Rose Dragon effect where it can destroy on summon, but it also can do when a monster is special summoned to the opponent's field, so it's a little bit more like just an end board piece. And then if this card is destroyed, you can special summon a Black Rose Dragon from your graveyard. That's funny. Does Black Rose Dragon say... I know Black Rose misses the timing. When this card is synchro summoned. So it just gets it back so you can do the like Black Rose Dragon stuff. Like synchro summon with it as material. So changing the attack of a face-up monster in the field to 0 in a deck like Assault Mode that has so many high attack point monsters could be relevant, I suppose, but it's not super relevant. It puts itself back in the deck at least, which is good just because Assault Mode activate needs it to be in the deck, so that's nice. I wish it drew you a card to replace itself, but I guess it doesn't do that for some reason. The like effect on field, why is it not you could destroy your opponent's cards? I know that Black Rose Dragon destroys all cards on the field, so it's doing that. But the thing about the assault modes is that they are upgrades of the monsters that they are assault modes of. And yes, this is an upgrade still because it says or a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field. It's its activation trigger, but I feel like it should go just a little bit further and make it destroy the opponent's board, because this does not synergize with the assault mode deck in this way. Like the way this is as is does not synergize with assault mode, because assault mode is a build a board strategy. So you're just like creating a bomb that I guess eventually you will trigger if your opponent, like, this is the thing you're going to be saving for last after you've done all your other interactions, and then your opponent still is special summoning, which is possible for sure. And they also haven't removed it yet. It's the other part of that equation. I do like that when it's destroyed, it gets to special summon Black Rose Dragon as just recurring materials. That's good. That is good. I will say also that before anyone says it, Stardust Assault Mode, which is probably the best assault mode to have on the board. Will, if you've used its interaction already, will be in the graveyard, I believe. Okay, it's not gonna let me do the next page. Okay, here we go. This will help. I thought I said put in assault mode. No, I just put in assault. Why did I do that? Assault mode. Yeah, Stardust. Yeah, tribute this card. So it'll be in the graveyard. So it won't be dead, but it will destroy the rest of your board, like the field spell and anything else you've established, which is unfortunate. So I don't think this is going to see much play in assault mode, the deck, which still leaves one other option, right? Because the you look at we were just looking here at the other assault mode cards. If you look at the red Nova Dragon assault mode, that one also doesn't feel like it's going to be played in the assault mode deck, but it could see play in the main deck it's a part of. I don't know that Red Nova Dragon it will be, but could Black Rose Dragon see play in the Black Rose Dragon deck? I don't know. Interesting for sure to have that effect, and then the new Black Rose Dragon cards will help protect you from this destruction effect, which is really nice. And then it gets back Black Rose Dragon that you can use as material. It's just, I don't know if you're going to put in enough of an assault mode core to make this functional in your Black Rose Dragon deck, just for like a little bit of a boost. It doesn't feel like enough of a boost to be worth it in either assault mode or Black Rose Dragon decks. But it is still worth, I think it's worth tinkering with, just maybe I don't think it's going to see much results. And then we have a Predaplant card. We have a Predaplant cards. This is the other Yuri. We have two different types of Yuri here. Yuri from Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V and Yuri from Girls.
I'll tell you, Tim, this guy should be beaten to death with baseball bats.
Level 6 Dark Plant Fusion Effect monster, 2200 attack, 1500 defense. Materials are a Predaplant monster and a level 1 monster, which the Predaplant counters make all monsters level 1 when they're attached. Like when a monster has a Predaplant counter, it becomes a level 1 monster. Must first be fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by attributing a monster on either field with a Predator counter and a Predaplant monster. So theoretically, if you're in a mirror match, you could also tribute your opponent's Predaplant monster, right? Or is it one monster on either field and then one Predaplant monster, so that monster would be one you control? I don't actually understand the wording there. I think it is actually you have to control the Predaplant monster, but because you can only offer a tribute of a monster you control, unless it's specified, right? Am I remembering that correctly? But still, if you can get a Predaplant counter on an opponent's monster, which the deck has plenty of ways to do, including a really good card, Dragon Stapelia, and that new card that works as like not quite Floodgate, like a 2-card Floodgate, where it puts Predator counters on everything that comes onto the field. So, there's lots of ways to do it. And then, of course, there's just a ton of other random crap cards that can do it as well. So interesting for sure. During the main phase of this card, especially on this turn, quick effect can target spell traps on the field up to the number of monsters with Predator counters, destroy them. So obviously, if you're making this card, you're either using a level 1 monster as fusion material, or like you just happen to be playing, or you're using a monster with a Predator counter, which means you're getting a Predator counter off the field. So like instantly weakening this effect here. It only works during the turn it was special summoned, but it does just destroy spell traps on the field as at quick effect speed, which is interesting. Only during the main phase though. I do appreciate when a deck has inbuilt access to spell trap removal. Not a lot of decks have built-in access to spell trap removal for whatever reason. And I do appreciate that. Will this be enough for it to see play in Predaplant? I don't actually know. Like, Predaplant seems like a deck that's going to have a pretty tight extra deck because it's going to be running Super Poly. It's going to have a Super Poly package to go along with that, right? At least in that case, a lot of the Super Poly targets are cards that are already in the deck. But still, I feel like you're going to be running a lot of extra deck cards already. So this is going to be hard to fit in, but it is just something you can contact fuse with an opponent's monster that has a Predator counter on it. So that's pretty fucking good, right? Surely they find a way to fit this in just because of that, right? Just because of this, they probably are going to try to find a way to fit it in. Like, it just makes Dragostapelia even stronger. Because Dragostapelia gets to put a predator counter on a monster every single turn, including the opponent's turns. And then that makes this stronger too. Yeah, no, I think this is an interesting card for Predaplant. I'm very interested to see what happens with this. It's not really like a starter or anything, but it is good removal and good spell trap removal. Yeah, seems to be a decent card. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these cards down below. Make sure to subscribe to the new channel, Batchu's Library, if you haven't already. Get us to 1,000 so my editor can get paid. I really would appreciate it. I feel bad about it about them not being paid. So hurry up and get us to 1,000, please. All right. Yeah, let me know what you think about this. I want to know what you think about Dheadevil. I want to know what you're doing with Wynn. I want to know your thoughts about the Black Rose Dragon Assault Mode. I'm very this one, and then I think WP Fancy Ball is probably going to see some amount of play, but like these other three, I'm really interested in. Like, there's been a lot of interesting card design coming out of Konami the past like few reveals and stuff. They really have taken to like trying to make the cards in each set more interesting. And I really, really appreciate that. If anyone from Konami is watching, I fucking love that the cards are more interesting. Even the bad cards, like the GMX cards, bad's a strong word, but even the GMX cards are like really interesting. And I appreciate that. I wish they were a little stronger, but you know, Wave 2, you'll get it Wave 2, right? You're gonna fix them up in Wave 2, right? And you're gonna make them good. You're gonna give them some good cards that are gonna like fill in the holes that are missing, and it's gonna make it a really good deck, right? I agree. Yeah, correct. So yeah, let me know what you think of these cards. The Wynn card, the Assault Mode, the Dheadevil, the WP, all of it. I want to know down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons, Ko-fi subscribers, and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity, among other benefits. In particular, I'd like to thank Jeremy Coatney, Frog Prince Michael, Fleakill, Haru Hayes, the Almighty Ferret Lord, Fire Mizumi, Beastman, Bryn, and Beelzis. A big thanks to all my patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye!